New footage from T.I.'s son, King Harris, getting arrested has hit the internet, and the body cam video shows the full picture of what went down. The arrest, the warrant, the gun on his hip, and the fallout between father and son is now laid out for everyone to see. So, let's get into what exactly happened the night King Harris got pulled over and what this arrest tells us about the ongoing situation inside the Harris family. Body cam footage has been released from the 2024 arrest of Clifford King Harris Jr., the 20-year-old son of Atlanta rap legend T.I., hosted by YouTube channel Badge Chronicles and caught by Vlad TV. The nearly 30-minute-long video shows what transpired back in October. The footage went viral across every platform, and it gives us a front-row seat to the arrest that made national headlines. Now, here's what happened. King Harris was arrested on Monday, October 14th in Dooney, Georgia, after his driving caught the attention of nearby police officers. The warrant was tied to charges of speeding, driving with a suspended license, and a DUI, and was issued after Harris failed to appear in court. The arrest unfolded when officers said Harris nearly struck a police vehicle while pulling out of a gas station in his BMW. So picture this. King is leaving a gas station in his BMW. He pulls out, and he comes close to hitting a police cruiser. Now, most people, if they nearly hit a cop car, they would just keep it moving and hope the officer didn't notice. But the officers noticed. The officer reportedly turned around and stopped King's vehicle. This is where things start to escalate. In the body cam video, officers can be heard noting the smell of marijuana as they approached his car. They also observed a firearm holstered on Harris's hip. Now, a gun on the hip, the smell of marijuana, and near collision with a police car. That is a combination that is going to get you more than a warning. The officers told King to put his hands on the steering wheel while they ran his information. Authorities then asked the young man to put his hands on the steering wheel as they ran Harris's information through their database. After they ran his information, they found a warrant out for his arrest in Pickens County in Georgia. Now here's the thing about that warrant. Harris was arrested due to an open warrant stemming from a 2022 case in Pickens County. He was charged in August 2022 with speeding, knowingly driving a motor vehicle on a suspended license, and driving under the influence of drugs. In September 2024, there was an arraignment notice returned and a bench warrant issued. So, this wasn't even a new case. This was old business that King never handled. He missed his court date. A bench warrant was issued, and it was just sitting there waiting for the moment he had contact with law enforcement. That moment came on October 14th. The officer's report describes the arrest as smooth. According to the incident report, the arresting officer wrote, "I informed Mr. Harris that I would need to speak with him outside and opened the driver's side door. Mr. Harris was cooperative, and I removed the firearm from his hip with no issue. I then had Mr. Harris step out of the vehicle, and I detained him by placing handcuffs on him. I escorted Mr. Harris to my patrol vehicle, conducted a pat-down, and placed him into the rear of my vehicle." The footage also shows Harris clearly frustrated with the whole situation. However, in general, authorities and T.I.'s son were quite calm throughout. That is something worth noting. Whatever you might say about King Harris and his public behavior in this particular moment, he cooperated with law enforcement. He did not resist. He did not escalate. After his handcuffing in Dunwoody, he was transferred to Dickel County Jail. Shortly after, Harris was transferred to Pickens County after a recall was ordered for the bench warrant. After his October 14th arrest, King was reportedly released the next day with the warrant reportedly recalled, but the status of his 2022 and 2024 arrests are unclear. There were two other people in the car with Harris, but they weren't arrested. So, King was the only one leaving in handcuffs that night. And the timing of all this could not have been worse because at the time of the arrest, King was about to become a father. King's arrest coincides with his father, T, announcing his soon-to-arrive grandchild, a baby boy, last month. T discussed the big news during an interview with Hot 107.9 alongside fellow rapper Young DRO, which aired on August 27th. "Yeah, I got two granddaughters and I got a grandson on the way." T says in the clip, King's about to have a son, and T joked about the situation in the way only T can. "And I told him, 'King, I'm going to make this one the greatest gangster of all time. T said while laughing. I'm going to raise this one to torture you the way you tortured me. I promise you there will be an indictment in this young one. T was laughing when he said that, but there's always a kernel of truth in a joke. The fact that T used the word indictment while talking about his grandson says a lot about the kind of headaches King has caused him. So, the body cam footage is out there now, nearly 30 minutes of it, and the internet has a lot of thoughts. But this arrest did not happen in a vacuum. King Harris has a history, a documented public, viral history of incidents that have put the Harris family in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Let's go back a bit. Before the 2024 arrest, King Harris was already a regular fixture in the headlines. And not for his music, not for his acting, not for anything his parents would be proud to see on a news ticker. The incidents kept stacking up one after another. Let's start with the Waffle House. In 2022, video footage shows T and Tiny's son, King Harris, getting into a heated dispute with several employees at a local Waffle House after the 17-year-old aspiring artist received unwanted pickles in his meal. Yes, pickles. That's what started it. The verbal altercation between King Harris and a Waffle House employee occurred earlier this month, but the video of the event went viral. King Live streamed the entire thing on Instagram. King was visibly irritated that his order contained unwelcome pickles, and he demanded a replacement. He seemed enraged when the clerk informed him he couldn't cuss in the restaurant when he returned to Waffle House to have his meal changed. Things went bad from there. King got into a verbal spat with another employee who didn't appreciate his erratic conduct after yelling out at the cashier. When asked his name, King responded with a retort. "My name is King. You know it, and your mama knows it." When one of the workers proposed that they go outside and throw hands, King sprung to his feet and proclaimed that he was ready for fisticuffs. He didn't stop there. King continued to disparage the employee who identified herself as Jennifer by suggesting she had a low income. "Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now," he said before taking out a stack of cash. He was waving money in the face of restaurant workers. He was 17 years old, and the video of this went everywhere. The public reaction was not kind. King Harris is a super privileged trust fund baby who got everything handed to him. So why he acting like he from the streets and he tough? His parents have failed miserably, and at this rate, it won't end well, because these things never end well. One person said T.I. responded to the whole thing, but his response raised more eyebrows than it calmed. T has since responded to the incident in a video asking why was his son's altercation event newsworthy. "Of course I spoke with my son, me and his uncles," the rapper claimed. "We were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who's at another level of life." Now, a lot of people had a problem with that statement. T was basically saying the Waffle House employees were beneath his son, that King shouldn't have bothered arguing with someone at another level of life. That was the criticism. People felt T was making excuses instead of holding his son accountable. Instead of reprimanding his son, T blames everyone else for making an issue. Even Tiny Harris got involved later. In an interview, King B's standing on business all the time. She said he's a good guy, though. One thing about King, though, he don't start no suddy. He don't run from nose T, but he don't start nose T. Now, whether you agree with that or not, the facts of the video speak for themselves. King was the one who walked into the restaurant heated over pickles, and King was the one who escalated it. The Waffle House incident was embarrassing. It went viral on the same day T.I. was celebrating King's graduation. The video went viral on the same day that proud dad Tip Harris congratulated his son on graduating from high school this week with honors. So, there's T posting about how proud he is of his son's academic achievement. And at the same time, the internet is watching his son threaten to pistol whip a Waffle House employee. The contrast was stark. Then there was the 2022 arrest. King's priors include a 2022 arrest for criminal trespass and driving issues. And then came January 2023. King was taken to jail in January of 2023 on 4 charges. After he refused to comply with the police who requested a blood test after that arrest, King made sure to let everyone know how he felt. King spent some time behind bars, and has come out to say F. Broca was 12. Though he did not say why he was arrested, he took to his Instagram stories to post a video following his release. His companion in the video reveals they received 1 violation for not wearing a seatbelt, while King says he got 4. So, this is the pattern. The Waffle House, the 2022 arrest, the 2023 arrest, the missed court date, and then the October 2024 arrest that we now have body cam footage of. Each one of these incidents is another entry in a growing file, and each one raises the same question. What is going on inside this family? The truth is the tension between T.I. and King Harris has been building for years, and it exploded in the most public way possible. In November 2023, while attending the Atlanta Falcons NFL game on Sunday, rapper T, his wife Tiny, and their son King Harris got into a public fight, which seemingly led to a physical scuffle between father and son. This was Thanksgiving weekend 2023. The family was supposed to be enjoying football. Instead, the internet got a front row seat to a family meltdown. In November 2023, Harris was involved in a widely publicized argument with his father, T.I., during a live-streamed family event. The dispute began during an Atlanta Falcons football game, where Harris appeared on Instagram Live while arguing with both of his parents about his upbringing. He claimed he had been raised primarily by his grandmother rather than in luxury, a statement that T and Tama Tiny Harris disputed in real time. The argument was about the silver spoon. Following Tip's performance at the beginning of the game, King was engaged in a conversation about his childhood. He claimed he never ate from a silver spoon, but his parents disagreed and said that he did eat from a silver spoon. King was insisting he grew up hard. His parents were telling him he didn't know what hard was. T went straight at him. In a clip that surfaced on social media, T questions his son about his experience of being subjected to poor living conditions while growing up, such as roach-infested homes. King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face? The Bankhead rep can be heard asking before insisting that his son's claims are off base. All right then, you don't know what you're talking about, the veteran rap star added. King didn't back down. King rebutted and accused T of fabricating his image. The 19-year-old explained to make him look better. He says set that he know not true. He was calling his own father a liar on Instagram Live in front of thousands of people. Then Tiny got involved. The discussion later turned to King's alleged childish behavior, with Tiny revealing he sucked a pacifier until he was 12 years old. That's a mother putting her son on blast in front of the world. The conversation had gone from a disagreement to a full family airing of dirty laundry, and then it got physical. Eventually, the argument escalated into an altercation. Like a reenactment from Baby Boy, T.I. put King into a headlock. You are embarrassing yourself and your family. Boy, you can't. Do nothing with me. The Paper Trail rapper yelled. King went to Instagram after the incident. I stand on business. I don't give __ who you are. I'm a grown man now. If I'm a mistake, say that. Stop making the world think you __ with me when you don't. It could be faking an image for the internet, and it ain't me. That's a son accusing his father of not really caring about him. That's a son saying the family image is fake. That is pain being broadcast to the world. Now King's brother, Demony, tried to calm things down. Demony told Baylor Alert that he dished simple advice to King in the wake of the publicized incident. Just relax, I said. This too shall pass. Demony also offered perspective on what it's like growing up with famous parents. I think just us as in the black community. I feel like we just treat kids differently when their parents are successful. So I think, right now, we're just witnessing how a family deals with that. T.I. later dismissed the incident as a common family matter in interviews, highlighting that disagreements between parents and children are typical, but the internet doesn't forget. The video of T putting his son in a headlock at a football game lives on, and it adds context to everything that came next. The arrest, the beef with 50 Cent, all of it because King Harris was carrying that frustration long before the handcuffs came out. Harris has also drawn attention for his outspoken use of social media, where he has clashed with critics and responded directly to commentary about his family. This is a young man who was born on August 25th, 2004 in Atlanta. He grew up in a large blended family, including half-siblings such as Zonique Pullins, Messiah, Demony, and Dija. many of whom are active in music and entertainment. The Harris family has always been a large, complicated unit. And growing up in that environment, in the spotlight, with a father who is a hip-hop legend and also a convicted felon himself, has shaped King in ways that the public is now seeing play out in real time. T.I.'s history looms large here. The rapper served time himself in the 2000s on drug and gun charges. Federal stint at Artadelphia. On October 13, 2007, federal authorities arrested Harris 4 hours before the BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta. He was charged with 2 felonies: possession of 3 unregistered machine guns and 2 silencers, and possession of firearms by a convicted felon. T knows what the system looks like from the inside. He's been through it, and that is what makes watching his son go down a similar path all the more difficult for anyone who's been following this family. Now, as if the arrest footage and the family problems weren't enough, there's another layer to this entire situation. The beef between T.I. and 50 Cent. And King Harris didn't just watch from the sidelines. He jumped in head first. The beef first began way back in 2006, when both rappers were debatably at their peak. 50 was the star of Gun It, and T was the self-proclaimed king of the South. The tension began to appear in a competitive way and sneak disses. For years, it simmered. It never fully popped off, but it was always there. Both of them knew it was there. The thing that reignited it was the Verzu situation. This was back in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, when Versus events had just begun popping off, and Harris used the opportunity of wishing Fif a happy birthday to challenge him to a battle. In an Instagram video, he said, "Pull your ass up with 20 of your records, man. Sit across from me, man, and get this work, man." There was a bit of animosity in the message, though, as Tip added. "But I understand if you don't want to answer to that challenge, because last time you got challenged, Kanye West dusted your ass off." 50 didn't take the bait at the time. He laughed it off on social media, but the issue never went away. T kept bringing it up in interviews. T and 50 Cent's feud was reignited during Super Bowl weekend when Tip called out 50 for ducking him in a Veru battle while talking to Nightcap, and then again a few weeks later during an interview with Million All Worth Of Game. And that's when 50 Cent did what 50 Cent does. He went to Instagram. Fif posted 2 photos to his Instagram account. The first, a rather unflattering photo of his wife, Tiny Harris, alongside the caption, "Keep my name out your mouth." He also posted a meme comparing King Harris to Pepe the Frog. 50 has since taken to his social media to share some targeted posts towards the Live Your Life artist family, particularly his wife, Tiny Harris, and son, King Harris. 50 Cent posted an unflattering photo of Tama Tiny Harris on social media during his ongoing feud with her husband, T. He captioned it with a remark telling T to keep his name out of his mouth, which many people saw as mocking or disrespectful toward Tiny. This is where King Harris entered the chat. King Harris, the Atlanta rapper's youngest son, took to Instagram in defense of his mother with several posts pointing out 50's prior beefs, the aftermath of his 2000 shooting, previous accusations of domestic violence, and more. But King didn't stop at defending his mother. He went further, much further. Ahead of unleashing a series of Instagram stories directed at 50 Cent, he'd share an Instagram post that begins with a photo of 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, and the beef with a tombstone engraved with Jackson's name and lifespan. The explicit caption to 50 reads, "Fuck your bit. Hey, and dig up your mama." He brought up 50 Cent's dead mother. That's the line that most people consider uncrossable. 50 Cent's mother Sabrina Jackson died when 50 was 8 years old, and King Harris was posting photos of her grave. He wore a t-shirt with her image on it. That act alone changed the entire dynamic of this beef. 50 Cent has laughed off King Harris's remarks about Sabrina Jackson. According to latest Instagram post, LOL all 50 captioned the post with a photo of the popular cartoon frog meme. That's 50 Cent style. He doesn't react with anger. He reacts with a laugh. And that laugh is more devastating than any diss track because it sends a message that you're not worth a serious response. Meanwhile, the much publicized back and forth between the two rappers took over timelines in February when the Harris family, T.I. and Sons Dominion King released a slew of diss tracks aimed at 50. T.I. dropped The Right One, then A Snippet of War, then another track on Hot 1079. Let 'Em Know is one of the early hits of 2026. The song, part of T.I.'s retirement album Kill the King, is currently #1 at Urban Radio and on several charts from Instagram to Billboard. But through all of this, 50 never dropped a diss track, not one bar on Wax. Fifth himself has yet to make any insults on Wax, and it doesn't seem like he plans to do so in the future. Instead, he stuck to memes, trolling, and silence. And then he pivoted to highlighting his television achievements. At the end of February, 50 Cent took a break from memes about the Harris family to highlight his TV achievements on Instagram. I know what you're thinking. How is this happening? It's very simple. I'm on fire, he wrote in the caption of post. That's 50 Cent telling the world I'm winning. And this beef isn't even registering on my radar. Whether you agree with that assessment or not, it's a move. And it's a move that leaves T and King standing in the ring, throwing punches at someone who won't even step into the ring. So now we arrive at the part of the story where T himself admits that things went too far. In a sit-down with the hosts of the Abro Laura Rosenberg show, T reflected on his son's involvement in the 50 Cent beef, and he was honest about it. "No, I don't enjoy it," said T in response to a question about if his kids' responses were enjoyable. His other son, Demoni, released a disc too. "I spent so much time trying to get this little Nuyo off the ledge. Now, he has justifiable means to undo all of the teaching that I've been teaching." That statement is significant. T is saying that he has spent years trying to steer King away from reckless behavior. And now, because 50C attacked Tiny on social media, King feels justified in going back to the behavior T.I. has been trying to pull him away from. The beef gave King permission in his own mind to be wild again, and that is what T regrets. But T also acknowledged the pride he feels. However, he did admit he was proud of how both his sons defended their mother, Tama Tiny Harris, who became the butt of several since deleted memes posted by 50. "I'm a logical, reasonable man of respect," T said. "I raise my children to be men of respect, logical, reasonable, and not to be emotional. The one thing that I am proud of this is that the women and children in our family see that it's a line of men that's here against who the FK ever." He said, "The one thing that I am proud of this is that the women and children in our family see that it's a line of men that's here against who the FK ever. We're not here to defeat. I'm here to defend. I'm here to protect what's ours. I die in the streets about this _ in fear." But then he pointed to the exact moment things went over the line. The trap pioneer admitted that he felt things went too far in his war with 50 Cent. When King Harris posted a photo of himself wearing a Rick Ross approved t-shirt featuring 50's late mother, who passed away when he was just 8 years old. I said that's enough. When I seen that damn t-shirt, I said this is enough. I said chill out, bro. I'm big on treating people the way I want to be treated. Tip explained, "I don't be out here just doing unto others in ways I don't want to be dealt with." So T.I. told King to stop when he saw that t-shirt. He drew the line at mocking a dead woman, and he acknowledged that King's response was too much, even if the provocation from 50 was disrespectful. That's a father trying to balance loyalty to his family with a sense of basic decency. And it's complicated because how do you tell your son to stop defending his mother? But also, how do you let your son disrespect someone's dead mother? Now let's zoom out. What does this all mean when you put it together? The body cam footage of the arrest, the Waffle House incident, the Silver Spoon fight at the Falcons game, the 50 Cent beef, the t-shirt with a dead mother on it, T.I.'s own criminal history, Tiny's defense of her son, the family's reality TV history. All of these threads connect. Born to T and Tiny back in 2004, he's grown up under spotlights that most kids dodge. That fame cuts both ways. Opportunities galore, but eyes everywhere when you mess up. His rap career is budding with tracks dropping and beefs online, but street-level arrests keep pulling him back. King Harris is a young man caught between two worlds. He wants to be seen as someone who came up hard, who stands on business, who isn't afraid of anyone. But he was born into hip-hop royalty with a father worth millions and a mother who is an R&B legend. The Silver Spoon argument isn't just a family squabble. It's the core tension of King's entire identity. Who is he? Is he the privileged celebrity kid? Or is he the street figure he wants to be? T warned in 2022 that King's behavior could lead to prison time. He's spoken publicly about guiding his son away from the streets, drawing from his own past incarcerations. T knows exactly where this road leads. He's walked it. He served time in federal prison for weapons charges. He served time again for violating probation. He has been through the system and come out the other side. And now he's watching his son take the on-ramp to that same highway. King, for his part, has shown flashes of something different. Harris has since welcomed a baby boy into the world. Not 5809 AM. Welcome King Jr. time to take over, King wrote in an Instagram post. He is a father now. He has a son named King Jr., and fatherhood changes things for a lot of men. The question is whether it changes things for King Harris. Harris began pursuing music under the stage name Kid Shawn in 2020, experimenting with trap music and melodic hip-hop through his initial singles About Dat and Bad Intentions. He followed with the EP A Thin Line Between a King and Apla in 2021. He has a music career. He has a family. He has resources that most 21-year-olds could only dream of. The path forward is right there in front of him if he wants it. But as long as the old warrants keep coming back, as long as the body cam footage keeps surfacing, as long as the beefs keep escalating, that path gets narrower. T.I. said it best. He spent years trying to get his son off the ledge. The arrest footage that just went viral is a reminder that the ledge is still there and King is still standing on it. The body cam video from Badge Chronicles has given the public a clear look at what happened that night in Dunwoody. It's given us a 30-minute window into one moment in a much larger story. And that story of a father and son, of fame and consequence, of a family trying to hold it together under pressure, is still being written. What happens next is up to King Harris. But if the pattern holds, the internet will be watching when it